you know, this time I'm going to sit back from my desk and you can do the intro.
Okay, wow. Wow, responsibility.
Go!
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Power Up Podcast. I think that we might have missed a week.
Yeah, there was definitely a week missed.
I think
something
we
of Christmas.
apologise for missing the week, but we are now back. Welcome back to the Power Up Podcast, where we cover all technological news, YouTubeal news, Twitteral news, and real news that doesn't involve drama.
Basically, yeah, like if you want to learn about some stuff that happened in the world, we got you covered. Do you want to learn about some stuff that happened on Twitter? Probably not quite so well.
Yeah, you can go to another drama channel.
And also, there's a few other things. But before any of that, the intro.
The intro.
Oh, they can hear it but not see it. Well, that's good enough, right?
I can't
there
hear
you
it
go.
either.
You're bobbing along
Those
perfectly
guys
to anyway.
never
So.
see that when that goes on, I just know it too well.
I let the podcast play for a bit, so you got a bit of a retro throwback to episode 5 from January the 10th of this year.
Wow.
Jeez.
Is that wasn't the last one, though? I don't know how long we've actually missed. The reason, though, guys, that the Power Up Podcast has been missed is because Toycat decided to go on all Columbus on us and just travel the world. That
pretty much is it. Like, I wanted to give this grand explanation where we're both like, well, it just wasn't working out, and, you know, we just decided to keep you, the children, happy. But no, basically... wanting to go around the world, you know, I wanted to explore all of Europe in a year, which is 23 countries. Oh, it was 28 countries in the EU. I decided on 23 for some reason. I don't know what that number is, but it's in my head. So I wanted to do 23 countries this year, or 23 countries total. And to go to 2 countries a month, roughly, means that... And getting flights that are cheap to 23 countries, because that's a priority too. Usually they got weird times in and out, so for us to fix down a date to do it was tricky. Started dating a girl at the same time, and you got... Wait, did you get married this year?
Not yet.
Not yet, but you got engaged this year. No, that was last year,
I think.
Well, I mean, you're in the engagement process, which is the same thing as...
You can't put no blame on me, no matter how hard you try. There is no blame coming my way, guys. Not my problem.
I'd say you have like a less active schedule, but like you upload more videos than me actually, don't you?
I do. I'm gonna hit probably by the time this video goes out, I might be on 2,000.
Oh, I'm on 3,000. So you're not there, but you're catching up with me. I think, given that you've had a YouTube channel for how long?
2011, 12, no, 30. I'll have a look.
11, 12, 13. You know, one somewhere in that.
I think it's
broad...
3 years, so that's 13, isn't it?
3 years would be 13. So
29th of January 2013.
I think I made 2009 on this account, so that's you're doing like pretty well for 3 years as opposed to 7. Anyway, so yeah, the Parrot Podcast. I wanted to make this because I felt like every now and then I'll get a request. I know it's from the same 2 people. Like I recognize the usernames at this point, but there's a lot of people that are just like, so what happened to that? And we never did explain because there
you go. I'm going focus.
You are very low quality. I thought it was just on my end, but
yeah, no, it will focus. Ooh. Maybe.
No. Turn off all the fancy lights. Anyway, but yeah, it'd been a while, and I didn't want to just leave it on. Oh, just the episode's gone. So I figured let's throw this out. And honestly, the second kind of partial reason as to why finding 2 hours a week to do this is hard is because YouTube and podcasts. This isn't something I realized at the time. They don't mesh because YouTube will never recommend podcasts to people. Have you ever been recommended like a whole hour-long podcast?
No.
And I can understand the reasoning because, I mean, watching an hour of people you've never watched before is tricky. And I think that's like a secondary reason in here that's like, why don't we start up again? Because to make a 2+ hour long a week commitment plus, you know, all the week-long stuff, I feel like there's some... It's a lot to guarantee every week forever. For something that's like you gotta really, really push off the ground. It's never gonna push itself.
I think with live stream taking off how it is on YouTube at the moment, that more live podcasts might come to life.
A live podcast is a really good idea in theory, but I feel like the practice because I used to think. So let's talk about live chat apparently for a little bit. I used to think that my live chat was just kind of bad in places, and you know, because you can always spot there's good people, but there's always just meme spam. Blah. But it seems like every YouTube stream I've ever been in, and even when I go to Twitch, unless it's on sub-only mode or it's on slow mode, I think is the other one called.
Slow mode, yeah.
Unless it's on one of those 2 modes, you generally just end up with nothing of real nothing that could add value.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know about like live as far as like to do a live podcast, you'd have to put it into like sub only mode, and YouTube doesn't have that. I don't think. So
Moderators.
even with moderators, it still shows the blank spot.
Every viewer is automatically a moderator. That
would be
like
so amazing.
An amazing plan.
I feel like that's the same thing as just saying take away all the rules in society, let you murder people.
You can ban each other. Heck, you can ban yourself. Just time out myself.
I would love to see this as a social experiment, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, we should talk about some real people news, because it seems fitting that the first story here is about the YouTube is over party, given that the podcast is over party. And why don't you explain it as you understand it?
Well, I want to begin. Now, this might change your not change your opinion. This might make you feel awkward, but I think the whole thing was, firstly, not very well worded to begin with, which doesn't help the whole situation. And two, I think as a community, YouTube really overreacted, like the creators. Really overreacted.
Some channels, the very, very worst hit ones, had like 1 in 20, 1 in 100 videos removed.
Yeah, I know, like less than 1% on average.
How many videos did you get removed?
None.
I had 1.
Did you? What did you have removed?
It was a Child of Light video from 2 years ago. It'd been unmonetized for some time by someone. And it was just like, I lost around $12 on that.
Absolutely
YouTube.
gutted.
So logically, I got to Twitter, started complaining at you. No, but to seriously discuss the issue, yeah, it was a very small issue. I think the people that blew it out of proportion. On the one hand, it is something that could be a big deal. You know, you go here, you take an inch and a mile, etc.
Yep.
But I feel like they also have the big interest in making it seem bigger, which almost loops back round to.
Yeah, for sure. And I think a lot of YouTubers came up with some really good points. But the biggest point that 90% of them were missing is that nothing has changed. It's been like this for a year and a half. YouTube have just made it easier for you to let them know that they're wrong.
Because they just used to not tell you.
They've just said, look, we might be wrong with some videos. Here's a button that you can click to ask for monetization, for the advertisements to be shown back on your videos. And we'll get back to you actually really quickly, as it seems.
Now what happens when the equivalent of before, where I lost that $12, now I've learned I've lost that $12, and I let YouTube know, and they're gonna make sure I don't miss out on a 13th when that eventually happens.
When it eventually ticks over.
And especially because of this big publicity campaign, not publicity, this big, whatever you'd want to call it, like a awareness thing, which isn't what they're selling it as, but now that loads of people know about it, everyone's going to know about their unmonetized videos, and they're going to tell YouTube, and they're going to try and fix it, which means that really YouTube just got a lot better in this sense.
Yeah, the only thing that I must say is that I don't think that they're being completely honest with us. I think that they must have changed something for all of the videos that people have been complaining about to be unmonetized. Most of those haven't actually been unmonetized for a year and a half or whatever. Some of them have only just been unmonetized.
Oh yeah, I think at the same time they must have started
they've updated the
cracking
algorithm.
down more.
They've updated something with it along with the whole notification process. So although they're saying yes, no, we're helping you out, they've also changed something to go along with it.
I think we should clarify. So the point we're trying to get across here is just, it's not as big of a deal, but it definitely could be one if they just, if YouTube didn't realize we didn't want this, and they, you know, if there was no pushback whatsoever, YouTube would just step it up and then step it up and step. So in some sense, it's good there was a big community campaign, but to get that campaign out there, a lot of like hyperbole and just making stuff, not making stuff up.
YouTube have terrible communication.
Yeah. Well,
with their creators.
I feel like every giant platform seems to, but yeah, YouTube is known for just users want this
something out.
Yeah, every single time a YouTube update comes out, people hate it and ask to go back to the old one as like an option. Nope, you never get that. That's never a thing. Although they've stayed at their current design for several years now, so
yeah,
that's good, I guess. But you know, every time anything happens with YouTube, it's just like there's no YouTube community manager to speak to. It's just, oh yeah, wait till something happens. Like even something as simple as when you got the copyright claim your video, and the person who claimed it would get the money even if it was proven it was a false claim. That took them months to fix after a big campaign, and they're like, yeah, it does make sense that if people claim your video and they don't actually own it, they shouldn't get the money. So, never been affected by it personally, but something about that's like...
YouTube's getting better. It's getting better.
But are they?
No, they're getting better. They're getting better.
But are they?
I think they are. I think.
Okay.
Mind you, I can say that because nothing that they've ever done has ever affected my kind of content.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, we should definitely add on the clarification because we both majorly make Minecraft content. That's so easy on the YouTube spectrum.
Yeah.
Like,
see, this video won't be affected until when I say ISIS, and now we can't get ads.
We lost monetization, dude.
Yeah, so we're not going to earn any money from this now.
This is $13 now that YouTube's taken away from me.
It's just gone. I'm sorry.
Shh. Might as well have just taken a $1. Might as well have just taken a $1 bill and just lit up on fire.
That's it.
Same thing, dude. Do you like that I have a $1 bill laying around?
I was gonna sort of let it fly, but there's this little part of my brain going, "Why does he have $1 bill?"
It actually has that little triangle, the Illuminati on it.
Yeah, Illuminati and everything.
I don't actually know. Like, I assume that this came before the Illuminati sign, because otherwise that's actually kind of scary. But anyway, so the reason I have that is just because I went to the US and I'm going for Minecon in 2 weeks.
You going? Are you?
I don't have a ticket, but I'm going to.
You'll be okay.
And, yeah, right. Like, there's got to be like some way. I think
There'll
most
be a guy selling them on the doors.
No, they've all got names on. So what I'm hoping is it's like one of those places where they can't check everyone, so they do random checks. But when you look like you don't belong, so if I'm just with a group and you know I'm walking straight forward, you know, like getting into like a nightclub or something where it's like a 21 requirement, but
and you just get
you walk past so casually that. Or even, I've learned the pro tip for that one, by the way, in case anyone is underage and would like to enter establishments they shouldn't, is to like go to show ID when they're busy, and they'll be like, well, if he's going to show me ID, he clearly has it. Like it's a double bluff.
There you go.
I'm actually overage, so it didn't count, but I used that recently.
You're hoping Minecon is going to be like the self-service tills at a supermarket, where you go around and you beep all your items first, and then at the end you go to the till and you just go beep, and it puts all the items that you've scanned in the thing. Do you have that where you are?
Yes, but not with anything that... Yeah.
Oh, you go around in my local Tesco's. You go around with the scanner yourself.
Oh, yeah, there's an option for that here, but no one ever uses it.
I know, we go around and we scan all the stuff as we go. It's great because, well, I accidentally stole a bottle of water.
Oh man, that does not fly here.
It was four for £1, and I put 5 in there, but only scanned 4. And then I walked out with it.
Is there no wait thing to check that you're scanning the right things?
No, not with those things. You just
so with a scan, you can just scan every other item.
Yeah, you just scan. Yeah, if you wanted to, but they do have the random check. Like 1 in every 10 tills will go ping when you're going through and someone looks through. However, all they do is open the bag and they go water, crisps. Okay, yeah. You're good.
So you're sneaking a fifth of every. Like, okay, take 5 for every item.
If you just put in like an extra pack of ham. Do you know what I mean?
So it's really good for minor league stealing. Yeah, I'm gonna take some ham next time. They have it in my Tesco. I've been missing out on all the free ham for like years now.
What have you been doing? All right.
Okay.
This is an interlude that I like to call random facts of which I don't know when they were first announced.
He's got a very old big list of facts there.
I do. We're just gonna go through just one every now and again. The first one. It's not gaming related, but a famed molecular biologist named James Watson put his Nobel Prize up for auction in 2014 due to financial hardships. It was sold for $4.1 million and then was promptly returned to the buyer because the guy who bought it fell into financial hardships.
Returned to the buyer, so like the sale was...
He got his money back.
I feel like you don't have to do that with a Nobel Prize, right? Like...
No, but it's just so hilarious that the guy sold it because he was having trouble with money, and then the guy who bought it sold it back to him because he was having trouble with money.
That does sound like a cursed Nobel Prize. I'll be honest, I didn't like it that much. I think there's some nugget in there, but I don't think it was amazing by itself. That's just like,
Okay,
okay, let's
the
do
next
this.
one,
Yeah, let's...
I'll try and update when we do the next one.
Okay.
So,
So,
next
so
subject, though.
speaking of Nobel Prizes and how to get one, you must be a pro. There is a new PlayStation 4 version, aptly named the PS4 Pro.
There is.
You like that, man? Dude,
Which
that was smooth.
It was so smooth. Okay.
But the PS4 Pro was just announced yesterday as we record this. Hopefully today as we upload this.
Yep.
Wait, do we upload on a regular day? Wait, we used to have a day, right?
We used to have a Saturday, I think.
Okay, 2 days. No, today. Ooh,
It's,
so-
it's a coming back episode.
recently,
Recently, the PS4 Pro was announced, and
Did you watch the announcement, by the way?
I did.
Did you see the really awkward moment where they revealed it and it was just silence?
I think the awkward moment is just the entire thing. To be honest, in all honesty,
it wasn't a good event, was it?
no. I saw one headline that's been going around Twitter that my fiance showed me, and it said the most powerful console ever has been announced, the PlayStation 4 Pro, which
They're not
is
wrong.
incorrect. The Scorpio is 30% more powerful.
But it's not
30%.
out, right? Isn't that the key difference?
What's that?
Isn't it the key difference that it's not out, the Scorpio, right?
No,
Because the Scorpio is... Oh, yeah.
It's been announced. The Scorpio has been announced.
But because it's not out, the PS4 Pro is technically the most powerful for a bit. Yeah?
Can you buy it now? Can you, the PS4 Pro?
Oh, I thought you could.
I didn't think you could.
I will do... You know, let's just assume it's not then. Because
Yeah,
I know the PS4 Slim came out today and it has the same design.
Hold on,
but-
PS4 Pro. I've got everything all up here.
So key details, it's like...
November the 10th. It's not out yet.
Okay, so it's not out, stack cheating. Okay, so it's like an iteration on the PlayStation 4 where it'll play the same games, but certain games will have higher quality options. Key note there is certain games, unlike upgrading a PC, each game has to like have separate options.
Yep.
So Mass Effect has announced that they're not going to give you a separate one, it's going to be the exact same.
Yeah.
A few other games
Talk
coming
about
out saying the
Mass
same
Effect.
things.
The voice isn't Shepard. Like, the whole story isn't to do with Shepard. But the voice is like exactly the same like voice as what Shepard had.
Oh,
It's really weird.
it's going to mess people up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it's like how if you ever played like Modern Warfare 1 and 2,
Yeah.
they used the same voice actor for a similar character that was just totally different, like
Yeah.
Gaz and
Is it-
Ghost or something.
Why?
Maybe they just really liked the dude and wanted to give him some work. Like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, here you go, buddy. Here's
I
another
really like
role.
your voice. But the problem with the PS4 Pro, and the same problem as what the Scorpio is going to have, and to be honest, most game consoles for the foreseeable future, is this whole 4K business.
Because
Okay?
they're not real 4K yet.
Well, for one, no real 4K yet. But number two,
Okay. Oh.
no game has been announced that's going to be 4K that I know of, at least. I don't know of any game that said this game is going to be 4K.
See, on as I understand it, technically the new Call of Duty will be
Upscale though, isn't it?
4K. I don't know if they said that was upscaled or not, but
I
every game is upscaling by default, if not. But
Yeah. So that's a problem.
Yes,
The
yes, it is.
next problem with 4K is that even if you had a 4K game and you had the PlayStation Pro, you then need a 4K TV
Which
to be able to
pretty
view it,
expensive,
which
yeah.
aren't cheap. I mean, the 4K monitors are expensive enough, let alone, let's say, the minimum size you really want for a decent gaming TV is 42-inch. I would say is the sort of smallest you want to go for a real awesome gaming experience.
You can get one for about £500.
£500 for
Ultra
the
4K.
first 4K game that is ever announced or released?
Yeah, when you say it like that. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
at some point in the next 5 years, we'll just switch over to new TVs because the old one. I've got a TV from like
it will happen
2010. now.
eventually, but there's
Now
more,
it's just
though.
a bad
The
time. Now's
the
a bad
next
time.
problem is that yes, YouTube has some 4K videos that you can watch. Nobody uploads in it, but you can.
Ah.
It's compatible for it.
I'm gonna
But
start
again, you're
going to
need the
4K.
TV for
It's
it.
gonna be great. Because it just tiny note. It's worth watching videos in 4K even if you don't have a 4K monitor because it gives you a higher bit rate. So even if it does.
Yeah, but you need half decent internet to be able to watch a 4K video anyway.
So live in a major city and like
Yeah.
the good people in the world do and.
But the worst thing, so basically, you can't play any games in 4K, even if you had the PlayStation 4 Pro and a 4K TV. You can't play any games in 4K yet, at least. You
No.
can't really watch any YouTube videos in 4K without.
You
really,
can watch
really
specific for that's
There isn't
and
no, like TV that you can watch on apps that are going to be in 4K because I can't see those really happening anytime soon. And even if you did get a 4K compatible game, the Blu-ray drive inside the PlayStation 4 Pro is not 4K compatible. You can't beat 4K.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's the thing that really, really got me. Like, the Xbox One S apparently does do it, which is a current gen, like it's a slim version of a current thing, and their new version that's 4K blah, 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 doesn't do 4K blue.
Which is weird. Which is weird because Sony own the Blu-ray. Xbox pay Sony or Microsoft pay Sony for every single console that Microsoft sells because they have to pay for the Blu-ray player that's inside them.
Not to be a stickler with you, but I don't believe they do own it. I think they and someone else are in charge of the people who, like, then they don't actually own it. Like, there's a funny misconception there.
I thought they did. All I do know is that Microsoft pay Sony.
They have to. They pay money which goes roughly to Sony, but I think maybe it's
all equivalent to a pound, whatever it is.
They pay a decent amount per disc, yeah.
Yeah, per console.
So. It is funny imagining Microsoft going into Sony's office being like, "So we criticized your thing. Our thing died. Can we have it now?"
Yeah,
and they could just charge whatever they want at that point. But yeah, the key difference is because it's like the Blu-ray Consortium or something. I can't find its name right now. They do have to license it to anyone. Whereas if it was just Sony, they might have just said, "No, use DVDs again. How will that go for you?" And so that's why.
No, I think I just don't like. I don't like this whole 4K thing. Yeah, I think it's.
Just now is such a bad time. That's the problem. Like 4K, it's close. It's not there, and that was probably the first PS4 too. Like it could barely do 1080 in an era where we're about to move up to 4K. This can barely do 4K, and no game is going to do 4K in an era where we're actually moving on there, and therefore they're going to need a PS4 Pro, and that will probably not do it either because they'll probably mess that up too. And I just feel like out of the 3 consoles that are coming out right now, the Scorpio is going to be the best tech-wise, but the PS4 Pro will probably actually sell the best anyway because it's got the.
They always seem to. At the moment.
It's gonna be technically hated, and it's gonna do the best.
Yeah.
That's my thought protection here. Although, are you gonna get Scorpio when it comes out? Bearing in mind you have a gaming PC, I think.
I do, yeah, but it all depends on when it does come out. If games are going to really harness what they can do. If they're going to hold back and say no because we don't want it to harm the older consoles, then I might as well just stick with the current Xbox One. But if they're going to say no, we are going to really build our games to work the best on these new consoles, then I don't think I really have much of a choice but to go with the smoother console.
You don't really. You do have to. I mean, as a YouTuber anyway, you've got to go with the old upgrade thing. But I feel like a 4K console, if it is used right, like you say, probably will be worth the money to people like us that are gaming enthusiasts. If that's like, you know, we have you have multiple consoles, right?
Yeah.
And therefore, I feel like an upgrade is aimed at us. It's not aimed at the kid who got the Xbox One for Christmas and will have to save up for 4 years.
Upgrades never make a difference, but the downgrades do.
That's a better point, actually.
Yeah, if you go from the Xbox One to the Scorpio, you're going to notice no difference. There's going to be no visual difference for you when you're playing Forza or Minecraft or Call of Duty. But then, when you go back to the Xbox One, you will notice a difference. You'll realize how sluggish in comparison our current Xbox One is compared to that.
It's like how the 360 was just like amazing and current, and then suddenly, now you go back a generation. It's just like, what are these games?
Yeah.
Or how the PS2 was. Yeah, you got a good point there. You know, why do games focus so much on graphics then when they're only punishing themselves? That's what I want to know. Well, we're like, because I feel like if every game just said, let's just all be 60 FPS, make that the guarantee across the board, then focus on graphics, we'd have a better we'd have a better video game experience because we'd be on less graphics, but we wouldn't care because we wouldn't have seen better. Whereas right now, it's gotta blow your mind, look amazing, and stuff like that.
So, in conclusion, the most powerful console ever made is a 7-year-old computer.
Yes, and the real most powerful console ever made is just a computer. If you want one,
basically.
you can build one pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Give that a look if you. I feel like that's got to be the new advice for anyone that's like actually really into games. Like getting a console is easy, but getting a PC will probably get more out of the hobby and for cheaper too.
Yeah, I'm not one of these people that really is like PC Master Race. I've got all the consoles. I've got Xbox One, 360, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. Even got a Wii. I just don't have a Wii U, but I don't think I'm really missing out on too much. And of course, I've got my PC, and I like them all exactly the same. I have no bother what one I play a game on. However, when it comes to picking out a game that I don't have, I do want to choose the console or PC depending on what game it is. If it's going to be something that I want to play multiplayer, then I'll do it on console. If it's something that I want to have really good graphics, then I'll get it on PC. If it's something that I know I'm going to be putting a lot of hours into, then I'm going to get it on console because it's comfier to sit on. It's a bigger screen. It's more of a casual gaming experience. If it's something that I want to be good at and be competitive at, then I get it on PC.
I feel like there's one core point that everyone misses in this, and you missed it there too, is the price difference. Because some console games cost a crazy amount. Like, I wanted to buy Deus Ex on launch. It was $55 on both consoles, $29.99 on the PC.
Well,
at that point, even though it's better on the PC, I was like, I want to play this on console because it's comfortable. You know, I lay back in the chair, but at half price. That's kind of thing. So,
and another one that we missed is get it on the platform that the game was originally designed in. For example, do not buy No Man's Sky on PC.
Oh, yeah.
If you're going to get No Man's Sky, even though it crashes and it breaks so often, get it on a PlayStation 4 because that's what it was designed on.
I feel like people can look at this argument and say you should buy Minecraft on the PC, though.
Yeah, I agree.
You do?
100%.
Well, if you had to buy one platform, maybe. But I feel like there are a lot of benefits to the Pocket Edition and the console version, you know?
I haven't played
Pocket Edition.
Oh, yeah. I don't.
I
don't mobile game.
I hate it. Every now and then I get into it and I hate it again, and I'm just like, what is this?
No, I can't do that. PC Minecraft just so many more. Anyway, that's a completely different topic. On to the next interlude. Hey. The next random fact. You might like this one a little bit better. I find it quite funny. It's not going to work if you don't know who Dave Chappelle is. You know who he is? A comedian.
I've heard of him, but I don't know who he is.
Right, basically, you'll be okay. He's a comedian, okay, black comedian. And
he's a
Prince,
black.
Yeah,
with a name like Dave Chappelle, wow. Oh no, he's that guy. I've watched something from him.
Yeah. So Prince, you know Prince, who Prince is, yeah?
Yeah, with the funny symbol as his name.
Prince used an image of Dave Chappelle dressed up as him on a cover of his 2013 single "Breakfast Can Wait." Right?
I've heard this one. Yeah.
And when Dave Chappelle was asked about it, he said, "What am I gonna do? Am I gonna sue him for using a picture of me dressed as him?" That's checkmate. Is what I said.
When I googled it, by the way, I got that picture. But yeah,
brilliant.
That was a good fact. You were really you really closed me down with that one, like Interplay has done with their new offer. No, I don't know what the story is.
Interplay are putting all of their games up for sale. Now, I don't mean that you can go and buy their games because for some reason they were holding them back before. We've got all these games, but you can't buy them now.
I like that image a lot better. Can we make that the case?
Yeah.
But yeah, instead of
the game itself,
they're selling the rights
title,
to the game.
They're selling the assets. They're selling everything to do with any of.
So are they in liquidation? Is that what's happening?
Pretty much, yeah.
Can I buy their office furniture? Do you reckon?
You might be able to. You could always ask them.
I feel like because whenever someone goes up for sale and they just get torn apart and sold like a human or like a dead mouse or something, I feel like
I often go down to the butcher and I make sure to get all of the pieces of the local dead mouse.
I feel like in your area, dead mouse is something you must eat every now and then.
Oh yeah, just
like They,
Little bit of roadkill.
I mean, with so much road, eventually something will die, and eventually you're gonna point bit. That's off the
Oh,
off the beaten
there's
track.
deers and badgers and foxes all over the road. You're not gonna starve around here.
When was the last time you ate deer?
Not so long back, about a year ago, under a year ago.
Was it good? Would you like what form was it in?
Pieces? Is that?
Oh yeah, okay, pieces. Anyway, so
it wasn't whole. It wasn't like
I
walking along.
no, because I've heard of deer. I've heard of
there's
deer burger, man. I've heard of deer burger. I didn't want to say deer burger out loud because it sounds ridiculous. I wanted you to like deer mince, deer.
It's expensive though. It is deer.
Well, all of the fancy meats cost more because you can't have like a farm of deer. You've got to actually throw spears at them in the wild. Anyway, so Interplay, everything's up for liquidation. Which, since it's the UK, they're doing it's called like chapter something back. Their stuff has to be sold. It's being sold by like some big firm. And if you want to get stuff for cheap, the weird stuff, like again, not the dead mice of the world, but the instead like the office furniture. I feel like there's probably some great market in getting that for cheap. So if anyone is looking for random stuff a game developer might have, like game developers or yeah, I mean you can buy their franchise and just
love to get hold of the assets to some of these games.
Well, you know how
Earthworm Jim. You know Earthworm Jim?
owned by Interplay.
Yeah. So
That's
everything to do with anything.
But even the
Earthworm
TV show
Jim,
license and stuff, do you reckon?
everything. Everything it has to go.
Okay, I'm gonna
They've
look
just
up
been,
what I
they've
can
been
buy from
failing
Interplay.
so much. Recently, there was a Kickstarter started in December of 2014, but it was shut down by January.
Oh, these guys! I didn't. I thought they had a different name at one point. They own Fallout, or they used to. They own Fallout 1 and 2 still, I think. That they own Baldur's Gate.
Yep. Battle chess.
Yeah.
So
Oh
if
wow.
you want assets to chess pieces for your chess game that you're making.
I think they just expired, but they probably have like a week or a month or something left on. They had the rights to develop a Fallout MMO.
Yes, it's mentioned here. Fallout Online MMO, revival of Black Island. But there was something between the name was already reserved by Bethesda, but nothing came of it.
Okay, so no Fallout Online for us.
Mm-hmm.
Darn it. To be fair, I wouldn't see that being a good game.
It was going to be called Project V13.
That sounds like a Mad Max title, perhaps. Oh,
It sounds like a very Interplay title, but it was going to be a Fallout Online MMO.
Did you know Fallout was inspired by Mad Max?
Was it?
Or maybe it was No, it was definitely that way around. I was thinking like maybe it's Mad Max.
Oh no, it's not the other way around.
Have you ever watched the original Mad Max?
Mm-hmm.
Is it worth watching? If I've watched the new one,
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't say so. Okay. You know what? After I watched that, I was just in like shock at what I watched because it isn't really a movie by any traditional standards.
It's an opening cutscene.
Yeah, it's a 2 hour long opening. I feel like they should have worked with Fallout to make that like Fallout characters or something because there's
either Fallout or Borderlands.
Yeah, it would have worked. Borderlands. Oh yeah.
Borderlands would have been sick if they like done that with it.
And all they have to do is just like shove a few characters in each game, and because I mean, whenever I watch Mad Max or see Mad Max, I get pumped for like the apocalypse. When I get pumped for the apocalypse, I play Fallout. You know?
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, there's nothing more when as soon as you see a zombie or something along that, it's like, what game am I going to go to? Fallout. I am the sole survivor. I am going to completely own everything.
So while you get your next fact together, I need to find a prop for my next segue. Okay, go. Random fact.
Oh, random fact interlude. UK school was given a loan of £1,000. Not that much, just a loan of £1,000 at a rate of 6% per annum.
Did they forget for like 100 years?
It was 1722 when the loan was given to them. And they acknowledged the loan. They say, yes, we did borrow £1,000. But as of 2012, the debt stood at £21.8 billion.
Compound interest, kids.
£21.8 billion because they hadn't paid at 6% interest rate on £1,000 loan since 1722.
That's that is a less than common. That, like, even if that's a random fact, that teaches you, like, if you could stay alive for 280 years and just earn 6% a year, you could earn 1,000.
Okay.
So if you right now save £1,000, it's an easy amount, right? Like, grows, everyone has £1,000 lying around spare, I'm sure, and you just save that for 280 years.
21.8 billion.
So all you have to do is work out a way to live that extra, like, 180 years, and we've just given you a rich technique. Anyway,
times that by 10, so that's 10,000.
Then you have,
and then divide the interest by 10, so it's then 20 years.
I know the facts on that one.
I think
actually.
that's really bad. Like,
it is. Over 20 years, you don't get
20 years, and you get 21.8 billion.
Well, the really cool fact is, like, if therefore it must be 2 point. Yeah, the really cool stat thing I've heard is, like, if you put £500 every month for 20 years away, and you get interest on what you've got, it's £500,000. Just £500 a month. So maybe anyone at home that has £500 a month that you're currently spending on video games and 4K TVs,
you
could be a half millionaire. I feel like a half millionaire is such a lame title.
You wouldn't own any of the stuff that you would have otherwise bought with the £500 a month. But
yeah, but I mean, do you need a PS4 Pro, or do you need an iPhone 7? Side note, while we're here, why don't I just plug my headphones into my jack while we talk about the new... Did you hear anything about the iPhone 7?
I've heard bits and bobs. I'm not an Apple guy.
Can you tell me everything you've heard? Tell me like you're trying to tell me as if you know everything.
As if I know everything. Okay.
Yeah.
The iPhone 7 was recently announced, and for some reason it has taken them 7 phones for it to become waterproof.
Oh, it's not even true waterproof. It's the lowest grade of waterproof that you can get.
It's your hands waterproof, but don't drop it in the sink.
1 meter or less of water for less than 30 minutes. Over 30 minutes or over a meter, and it's not safely rated. And this is after they removed all the ports but the one, by the way. Bear in mind, waterproofing a phone is harder the more inputs it has. It has 1 port to waterproof, and they still only did it on the lowest level. So that, let me take the reins here. I feel like that is the kind of Apple philosophy. Like, we don't need to do it until much later, and realistically much worse
we'll call
because
it a feature.
Yeah, they were bragging about it, and it's like, this was I think it was the S4 that was the first waterproof, like, Samsung phone. Lots of other, like the Sony Xperia Z1 or something, that was waterproof for like 10 meters at, like, I don't know how long it was. And Apple, yeah. But the big thing to me, and this does actually bother me, is actually the removal of the headphone jack, because they used it as a way to say, but now we have wireless headphones, so you don't need them. But it's like, the only thing you use a headphone jack for isn't just headphones. You use it for speakers too, car speakers or any other speaker. And there's an adapter, but it costs $10. You get one for free, I think, but who's going to keep that around anyway? You can't charge while you're using it, and there's
You're
also
going to lose them. On the bright side, they're not going to tangle up in your pocket.
But on the that's the wireless ones, that's true. But on the other side, if you do get Lightning headphones, so bear in mind right now the cheapest pair you can get are in the hundreds of dollars. If you get cheap Lightning headphones, because they'll probably come out like some generic manufacturer, because it's a digital connection, unlike this one, which is analog, so nothing can stop you from plugging something in and just taking that sound. Like, there's no speaker only device, but because it's a digital connection, they can like use music piracy stuff to say, oh, you can't be doing this. And there's a few like concerns about having, again, you don't ever want to take something that is analog necessarily and make it digital without a good reason, and this is not that. So yeah, iPhone 7, it's slightly thinner, doesn't have a thing, still not properly waterproof, like kind of there, but it is the thinnest non-Chinese phone on the market. So,
and it will sell in the millions.
Do you want to make a prediction right now? Because it's coming out in a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it will be the best-selling phone ever or not? Because the 6S was, or the 6, or the 6 Plus. Yeah, I was surprised too. I thought Apple was on the decline, but that was like a bump right back up.
I thought like the iPhone 4 or 5 would have been the best-selling one.
I think it was the 4
was at the time.
The 4 was the best for a while, and then they started tanking a bit. Then the 6, for some reason,
Just went
was
crazy.
So do you want to say whether it will be the best or it won't? Because all it has to do is beat the previous iPhone, which you'd figure it would, because people like the previous one, presumably.
I'm gonna go on a whim, and I'm gonna say yes. It's going to outsell every other phone.
I'm gonna take the no side then, and I'm gonna try and cause there's enough controversy here and enough memes like women like have you seen the woman that's like, oh, you just gotta jiggle around, oh, and now your headphones are lost in the bush somewhere, so go some use ones. There's loads of like random stuff like that there. I think there's enough like that it's not going to necessarily impact too many people, but I think it will just only has to get a few people to be just less successful. So that's why I'm thinking my thing. Why do you think it will just sell anyway?
Because it's got the word "I" in it.
You're sadly pretty right.
Yeah, it's just anything "I."
It's got new colors too. That's a really good argument for it selling better. Like,
Yeah,
people will be like, oh, what I wanted. It's actually I actually do like the colors. I will say that much. I don't want to be too anti-iPhone. Like they've got jet black.
Titanium sort of coloured one.
Is this titanium to you?
Yeah.
But the one that's the coolest to me is jet black. It's they say that you have to have a case, otherwise it will get scratched, which I think is the point. But if you did just want a phone that looked nice, it's jet black. I'm gonna find a picture and put it on screen, and I guess you can imagine one, Zono, because you can't see this. Okay, I just googled jet black without iPhone, and it made a person come up. Jet black iPhone. Okay, so look at everyone. Okay, look at this right here. It's so shiny, and no phone has done this because it's a bad idea. But I feel like, Apple have already embraced the we make the bad ideas successful thing. Mm-hmm. So I like that. So yeah, that's the iPhone 7. Give us another random fact, will we?
Random fact? In 2012, a man sacrificed his kidney in order to save his younger sister. But the efforts ended in vain when a nurse mistakenly disposed of the donated organ, so the sister had to get another kidney. 3 months later, the family then sued the hospital for their neglect.
Can I just say, the way you put emphasis on that story, maybe it was just me, maybe everyone else got it this way. You said, like, a man sacrificed his kidney, and I'm just picturing, like, a satanic burning of his kidney.
He cut it out himself, and then the nurse disposed of it.
Do you know how much money he got for that? Does it say? Oh. So he got, but did he win, at least?
I would expect so.
I mean,
what's their defense? Yeah, he came in, yeah. What did you do? Oh, yeah, we removed his kidney. What did he want the kidney removed for? Oh, it was going to his younger sister to save her life.
But what if his kidney actually looked like, a piece of trash? Like, what if his kidney was actually, instead of a kidney being this, his kidney was this? Let's say.
His kidney came out looking like a bloody rag or something like that.
What if he has a normal kidney and it would be standard procedure to remove a bloody rag from the table, and therefore... I'm just saying there's a chance.
Why haven't we evolved to have our organs tattooed with the name of what they are upon them? So when operations do happen, you don't need to be a doctor to remove your pancreas, because it'll say pancreas on it. Like the body knows I'm a pancreas.
I love the idea that every language has its own one, and that would be a really clever way to work out where someone's from, like what language it says on their kidney.
After they died, it's like, well, we think she's Russian, but we're not really sure. Well, I tell you what, we'll just open her mouth and look on her tongue.
Oh, it says
tongue in Russian.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Evolution, if you're watching this podcast, give that a try next. Tattoo our names onto our organs. I mean, you wouldn't even have to tattoo it. Like, have like a little imprint that goes outwards. That could be like a defense mechanism too. Like, if tiny bit of affection. I know. I'm just saying, evolution. It
just pops out like a lion jumps out, and it just goes. Oh! Like your skin just says scream.
Just while we're on the subject of organs, have you heard of the theory that your two separate parts of your brain, actually, even though they communicate, they're actually two separate consciousness, and that you just feel like you're one? Have you heard that theory?
Yeah, I can talk to myself.
You can?
Mm-hmm.
and you feel like it's actually two separate people.
I often lose the argument against myself.
See, I think that might be a separate disease of schizophrenia, by the way. Maybe check with a mental health
I really
doctor.
wouldn't doubt it. Like, I can be so sure of something, and then the trouble is it happens the same when you're arguing with someone else. Like, when you're so sure on something, then halfway through the argument you realize that you're wrong, but you still argue that you're right, but you know that you're wrong.
I do that myself. I do that
when
too,
I'm arguing
actually.
with myself, I'm going, oh no, he's right. I mean, I'm right. I mean, he's right. Well,
Oh, you actually have to think like that, do you?
And then I try and hide the fact that I know that I'm wrong from myself.
Oh man, you might be you're either a medical marvel or you have some mental disease there, and I would like to know which it is, because that sounds really cool. Like, to actually be able to speak to yourself and not know the response immediately.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I've been watching. They're all fake, guys, but I've been watching some really interesting YouTube videos of like how good is your eyesight, and it shows you like a bunch of different colors, and I can get the no problem. In fact, when I watched it, and it was like there was 10 circles, and one of the circles was a slightly different shade of color, and I just went bang that one, bang that one, bang that one, and I had no problem. So I thought it was just like, clickbait, everybody does well, make everybody feel good. So I showed my fiance it last night. She got 4 wrong. And she couldn't tell any difference. And even the second time watching it, I suppose the second time you should know the difference, but there's like 30 different ones. It's not like you're going to remember the order. And it would come up and I'd be like, yeah, it's that one. And she'd sit there and she'd look and try and, no, I don't know. I said, it's that one. And then I watched another one by the same, I can't remember who it was, what the channel is. But there was another one that was lateral thinking. Do you think differently to other people? And like 98 or 99% of the country answers these questions in the same way. I think, for example, if I say maths for you, 81 plus 7.
98.
72 minus 3.
89.
64 plus 6.
70.
Think of a color, then a object that you use in a workshop.
A red hammer.
Everybody says that. I'm not.
No way.
No.
No.
Kidding you. That's the answer that 98% of the. If you said that, let's.
No, wait. How do you prove this to me?
That's what it was on the video. I'll get the video after this podcast. I'll get it up. I'm not joking you. Right?
I bet it's something to do with that maths equation. Because I've seen a similar thing.
There's something to do with it. But the thing is that I was saying I didn't know what the maths was that they used. I just was coming up with random things for you. However, it was really weird because I do think I have lateral thinking compared to a lot of other people. And when it came up with, say, a color, then a tool, I went, they want me to say red hammer, so I'm going to say yellow spanner. And then it halfway through, because it didn't tell you the answers till the end of the video, and I went, I wonder if it wanted me to say, they want me to say red hammer, and then it's going to say yellow spanner at the end. And no, it went red hammer, and I was like, I told you. I told you. And there was loads of things like that on there. It even works so when I'm watching magicians, or what are they, like mentalists, when they like try and convince you to say something without you knowing it.
Oh yeah.
I what's it like? Not David Blaine. There's one.
Darren Brown.
That's it, Darren Brown. When I watch one of his shows on TV and I watch it with the fiance, he'll be saying something and he'll be like, "All right, think of a color to the person in the audience," and I'll say to my fiance, I'll say, "She's going to say blue," and she'll say blue, and I'll say, "All right, pick a card, any card. Just think of a card." And I'll go, she's going to say the 2 of hearts. And she'll go, the 2 of hearts.
You know what, dude? I think you're just a psychic. And, like, you can just read your own mind. And that's why you get
because I can hear what he's saying. And because, like, he'll be saying, like, 3 sentences. And, like, 4 times in that sentence, he'll say, pick the 2 of hearts. But no one else seems to hear that. Do you know what I mean? Nobody watching it or nobody there. And I'm sitting there, I'm going, he's just said it, like, 4 times in that sentence.
Okay, wait, one sec. I'm gonna test you right now, because I saw this in the video recently, and I think if you're so lateral, give it your best shot. Okay. So what is 6 plus 8?
14.
What is 8 plus 7?
15.
What is 14 minus 8?
6.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Okay. Now, I want you to think of a number, any number between 5 and 12.
Okay, you want me to say 6?
Nah. Darn it. What number do you want to say?
Well,
No, pick a number anywhere number between 5 and 12.
11.
Oh.
You
I
want
wanted
me
to
to
say
say
7.
6? Or
7.
you want me to say 7?
It happened to me, so I was like, maybe I can get you. Apparently, your brain, without knowing it, it's drawn to 7 because it's 12 minus 5 without... Maybe if I said between 12 and 5, maybe it works better in text form or something like that. But
there's a question asked to... Well, I'm not going to say who they're asked to, but I'll tell you the question, see what you say. It was a girl who attended a funeral, and at the funeral was this guy who was stunning. She fell in love with him.
As we all do with stunning guys.
Yeah. 2 weeks later, she killed her sister. Why?
Why did she kill her sister?
Mm-hmm.
When she loves this guy, not her sister, right? Just to make sure we're on the same page. She killed her sister because her sister was... I felt I can only think of like, because the sister cheated on him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
See, that is technically the incorrect answer.
Oh.
But it's when I read it, I said because she was dating the bloke, is what I said, which is a similar thing to what you were sort of saying.
Yeah, it's the same.
But the correct answer is so she could see the guy or was hoping to see the guy at her sister's funeral. Is technically the correct answer because he was at her mum's funeral, so she thought, well, if I kill my sister, I might see him at my sister's funeral.
And people were meant to think that.
If you say to see him at the funeral, it means that there's a high chance of you being a psycho.
Oh,
you know,
that makes sense. Yeah, because you see the link and
it's one of the questions asked to most inmates and people with criminal behaviour. But yeah,
I feel like if you ask that in a prison, it's an unfair place, though. Like that's a place where crimes are committed for silly reasons.
It was at the time that I suppose those kind of tests were done. Do you know what I mean? And those kind of questions were asked. It was quite a good question, though.
Anyway, what's the final piece of news we have here today?
Final piece of news that we have not talked about is the Sony Bravia TVs.
And how they are ending their support. YouTube really is ending the support.
Yeah, they don't really have too much of a choice in the matter.
Because YouTube is starting to encrypt videos on end-to-end, which means that if you have a TV that can't update and can't get this done, and in particular the Sony Bravia just don't have the processing power, then no more YouTube for you. And my immediate reaction was, oh, this sucks. Then I looked into it, and it's only Sony Bravia TVs from 2012.
Yeah, and you can just plug in like a smart box or... This
is every tip you get from anyone ever is don't buy a smart TV, buy a regular TV and get a smart thing because you'll want to upgrade that. A dumb TV, yeah. I heard it called that and I was like, it's like calling it a dumb phone. Like the phone doesn't get less smart because I guess it does. You know, if suddenly everyone woke up tomorrow, like let's say 100 IQ points smarter, would that make you dumb by comparison? Do you think would it be a dumb AJ over there? Are you a dumb human rather than a smart human? I think you just get to be a human, everyone gets to be a double human, no?
I don't want to be dumb.
Wait. Okay, so would you rather wake up tomorrow, be the only person with double IQ, or be the only person without double IQ?
The only person with double IQ.
Bear in mind that everyone's going to be so... Human. Darn it, you got me there. But I just feel like being the only person that's like, whatever level that is... You're just going to be like, everyone's going to be so trivial to you. Like, oh yes, keep talking with your banana mouse, primates. I mean, because I watched a TV show where it might have been a popular TV show, maybe someone knows it. But the dude's just like, I hate having this high IQ, so I take these drugs that make me stupid. And I have this lovely wife and kids. And I like that. I was like almost a love story with a lot more complexity to it.
Smart for this world.
Yeah, he had a really...
I need to dumb myself down so I don't have to constantly think about the mistake I made of having kids.
Again, no idea if this is a TV show or reality because I don't watch TV shows and it was like a few years ago. But he worked a job as a delivery box man, a delivery driver, I guess it'd be. And he liked it way better than being a physicist. So I'm just saying, maybe removing 50 might make you happier. If you have too many. If you don't,
Yeah.
then definitely stay in school. Stay in school. I like that message. Even if you're not in school right now, maybe you should stay in there anyway. Like, see what happens if you just walk in. Will they educate? Actually, okay, we can't ever do this because I feel like there's definitely big rules against it. But if one of us just walked into a school classroom and just sat down at a desk, like, how would the teacher react?
Probably with the police.
Would they ask first, or do you think they just call the police first? Because I think you could probably word your way out.
I know it depends on how you're dressed. If you're
in a
dressed,
suit.
If you went in a suit, they probably wouldn't mention anything. They probably wouldn't say nothing.
I'll just assume that you're like
if you
some
just
school employee.
wore a suit and had a clipboard and sat in the corner.
They
wouldn't say nothing. They would just think, "Oh no, Oxfam. What is it? No, not Oxfam. Ofsted are in. Okay, we better."
I don't actually know the benefit of being in a classroom aged 21, but I feel like there's some genius in this. Like, yeah, clipboard, suit. If they say anything to you, just like calm down.
Just
Like
write it down.
continue as normal. Continue as normal, dear.
Just write it down.
This is such a great idea. So, to finalize this piece of... What was the story again?
Bravia TVs.
Bravia TVs. It sucks, but...
It's going to make no difference to those people. He's dying. Welcome to the Power Up Podcast, where my co-host is back.
Okay.
I thought I was going to get all this revenue from this unmonetized, not ad-friendly ISIS video.
You can. I'll give this to you now, and now you don't have to replace me. Okay. If you had $1 on your end, we could totally trick people with that. Wait. Do you have a pound coin laying anywhere near you?
I might. Yeah, let's just tell everybody the plan first.
No, they can't hear us right now.
We're muted, are we?
They're busy focusing on the video game they're playing. Yeah, I know what you're doing right now. We know.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just playing. I'm just setting up things for the channel later on.
Oh, here you go, man. Have a pound coin. Oh, there you go.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
See, people who aren't from the UK might think it's the same coin because,
like, what year is it?
Oh man, okay, so 1992. Oh
my god.
It's not the same year, is it?
No, it's not.
Have you seen the fact that you can actually... This is something I didn't even know about the UK coins. If you get every coin up to £1, excluding £1, it actually makes a shield on the back.
It does, yes.
I thought that was cool.
You didn't know, or you did know?
I learned recently.
Recently? I used to do it in school on the cafeteria.
I thought it was a new thing.
Trade coins. It was really bad trading because I always needed like the 5p and everyone else needed the 50p, so I would trade the 50p for the 5p. It's like, that is
really... That's just giving money away,
like
dude.
Bad investment.
That's not even...
I'm sure those people didn't even need the 50p.
Yeah, man, what even is that?
I lost out bad.
You just gave away money. That's the lesson here. So before
I did get like 3 shields.
But the shield, it's a cool thing. But
the school bell went, it just went back in my wallet.
And then you had 45p less.
Yeah, and I ended up buying a chocolate or something like that. And
so really, whoever took your 50 saved you from a chocolate bar, which is why you are slim right now, because you just didn't go down that. Yes.
As if I wasn't. Well, I'm not going to be.
I like to picture you as a fat kid. I know you probably weren't, but the headset makes you look like you're...
Hey guys, one and only.
There's something about the way your eyes are there that just makes it perfect. If you ask me.
It's crimped my neck. You know when it goes ping.
Oh.
Okay, I'm just gonna have to look forward.
Let's just do that while I talk about the final part of the show, where we ask each other a would you rather question. You forgot about this, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I was pretending to be fat.
Oh yeah. Well, that makes it okay. So how about you have to make it up on the spot? No looking, no thinking, and whoever comes up with the better one.
I'm not looking it up on the spot right now. My eyes are looking directly into the camera.
Okay, I'm gonna do it too then. Whoever can find the fastest one then. So would you rather always be physically 20-year-old, or revert back to 10? Do you hear that, by the way?
Yeah, I do.
There's an ice cream van, apparently.
Oh, it's the ice cream van. Got the pound.
It would...
Suck it.
It would be great podcast material if I went out and got that, right? Like,
Just came back. It's okay, I got it.
I feel like ice cream vans must not exist in the US, right? Because there's not enough, like, they're not packed together close enough, are they? Maybe, point being, would you rather be physically 20-year-old always, or revert back to 10 every time you reach 30? So have the variance of 10 to 30, and it keeps resetting, or be 20 always. Which would you rather be?
20 always.
That's probably correct, honestly. If it was a smaller variance, like I'd take 15 to 25, probably.
Why would you want to go back to school?
Oh yeah, if I'm 15,
So you've got 18.
physically. I'm
Oh,
not
like
mentally
your si-
regressing.
Like your size changes.
I wasn't that much smaller. Yeah, but like I'll look 15. Actually, could
There's
you
no
look?
upside to that.
Yeah, there is. You could like hang out with. Yeah, actually,
Yeah, you can hang out with real 15-year-olds.
they're not very
That's
interesting
just
people, are they?
sick.
Yeah, never mind. Okay, I take 20 to 25 because there are there are situations where you might want to be a tiny bit older. Actually, no. Okay, or I take like 5 to 35 because being a 5-year-old means you can commit crimes and not be legally tried for them.
There was a little girl who received a littering ticket of $75 when she was 2 years old.
Is this a fun fact, or is this just...
No, it was on the news.
Okay.
And there was a huge thing that kicked off about it, and in the end, the head of the council thing or whatever it is had to come down and speak to her, and then they done a check on how old the child was, and she was 2. So they took it away because she can't be legally responsible.
So next time you get a ticket for anything, parking, littering, otherwise, try and pretend you're 2, and you might just get away with it. Is that the key point here?
Yep.
So what's your would you rather for me? You have to go now.
Right,
Do it.
It's going to be... I keep getting really terrible ones. No. We've done that one before.
No stalling. Go.
I'm not doing it. Die in a plane crash or die in a car crash? You rushed me.
Okay.
That's a great one that came up then.
Oh, that's actually a good question, honestly, because they're both horrific, right?
They are.
I feel like in a car crash... No, definitely plane crash. Because every car crash scene I'm picturing is the one where, like, the car flips, you're trapped in by your seatbelt, which is broken, and, like, you can see the oil, like, igniting and slowly... Whereas I feel like a plane crash is just 900 miles an hour.
Just woof.
Yeah.
Just woof.
Like, first there is people, and then there is soup.
For me, it's got to be car crash. Because,
Really?
one, I don't like planes. I've never been on a plane.
Yeah, okay, but
I
if you're going to
don't
your
like
death, like, you can deal with a few hours of flying, no?
I've told everybody, if I'm going to die, I'm going to die in a car crash by going way too fast on a road that really shouldn't be able to take it, and I'm going to go through the gate, the pearly gates in heaven, backwards on a ball of fire inside a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. Just
That sounds awesome.
blast the gate, souping.
And that's your plan to get into heaven. Like, well, not going to get in normally, but the gates can probably
brute
only take so
force.
much.
Yeah, brute force of a flaming Lamborghini.
Do you reckon there are Lamborghinis in heaven?
I think there's everything in heaven.
Yeah, I do too, actually. Okay, so who had the better question?
Power Up Podcast.
Who had the better question there?
Oh, I had the better question.
Do you reckon?
Oh yeah, it was very morbid.
Comment. Let us know which one you liked more, and that'll be our little poll. Actually, while you're down there, I'm gonna leave a comment and saying whether his red hammer thing was actually correct, because I'm sure that can't be the only.
I guarantee you.
I'm watching this video
now.
Yeah, do it now. I genuinely don't believe it. Like, I think it's one of those things where, yeah, there's no, like, red and hammer is probably the most common, but it's not 98%.
Right. Oops. There is the video. I shall mute this so I can't hear it. And then the answers are at the end.
Okay, so where do I skip to?
I'm just finding out.
So I'll play it to the stream. Guess what, guys? We're going to watch a video together. Probably
3 minutes, 43 seconds. Oh, no,
Okay.
no, that's just saying Hammer, the one before it.
So we want to go.
We're nearly there. Test 2, the tournament's color. 3 minutes 35 seconds. 3 minutes 35.
Why were you watching this video? It looks really weird.
It was like one of these late nights finding the wrong side of the internet things.
Fair enough. Did you end up on the video of the hippo?
No, I ended up on some. The moment where I said I've gone too far was when I saw a Japanese horse racing thing, and it was people in the horses running down the track, the costumes of 2 people inside the horse, and they were doing the horse racing track with those, and it was Japanese, and it was like a game show, and I was like, nope, I'm going to bed.
So while I play, it's giving me the answer before I do this, which I feel like isn't a good way to do it. No?
Well, yeah, it gives you the questions first, but I'm just skipping you to 3 minutes 35 seconds.
Oh, that's the bit where it confirms it, right?
Yeah.
When someone thinks of some kind of hammer, it's difficult to say why for sure.
That's afterwards. It says before.
Yeah. Okay.
That.
So I want to see if they were the same questions that you just happened to get, or okay. So they asked, "What is 3 is the average of what a normal person would answer to?"
No, that was the question before. That was how many F's were in the sentence. I always get those ones right as well because I don't see how.
Test 2, the tool and its color. Oh, the maths has nothing to do with it. It's just you got to ask a tool and a color, and most people say a red hammer, right? Am I watching this video wrong?
No, now think of a tool and a color. It's after all the maths, then they go, now think of a tool and a color.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
It's like the setup for it.
I guess because you get people into instinctive mind of answering, whereas if you give people...
A very simple answer is because red's the most common color people are going to think of, and the hammer is the most common tool people are going to think of. That's like the actual answer, I think, is why. Just proving that red's the most common color is just...
Red is definitely, but it can't be more than half of people. Or even if it's
98% according to this video.
I don't believe it.
Nor do I. But
it got me though.
I don't believe that that's a fact, but I completely believe that 98% of people do say that.
Wait, you don't believe it's a fact, but you believe it's a fact?
I don't believe that this video has actually said that. I don't believe that they've actually researched and said, yeah, that's a fact.
Right.
I actually believe the statistic itself.
You would believe exactly 98%.
If I was going to make up the stat like they obviously have, I would say 98%.
You wouldn't. It's not even in your mind a possibility that it could be 90 or 100 even. No, or definitely 98.
It can't be 100 because I didn't. I knew they wanted me to.
So that does that not count?
Well, no, because I knew they wanted me to.
I'm going to watch that video. I'm going to see if they get me more there.
Again?
No, not on that same one. On the
Red hammer, no, I done it again.
Okay, I'm thinking of the workshop now. I think a hammer is the first thing that you picture when you think of a workshop. Why red, darn it? It should be... This is going to give me trouble. Okay, before we...
Next of the red had a stroke of red all the way around it. And through the entire video.
Oh, maybe. Maybe I lucked into it. There's... Everyone else, you can work this out yourself.
You falled for it, and that made you look like an unnatural thinking fool.
Well, then I'll make you look like a non-grammarling fool. Grammarling. Okay, I've lost everything. You said fooled instead of fell.
Speak English.
But I think that brings us towards the end of today's Parrot podcast. What do you think?
Coming back one.
It was.
This is actually the first time that me and Toycat have spoken to each other since the last Parrot podcast. Actually, physically voiced to each other.
Well, I mean, it's not physical, so it's
it is physical. I'm physically speaking right now, and
I did give you that £1 coin as well.
You did physically give me the £1 coin.
Can I have that back, by the way?
Yeah, if you want.
Yep. Oh, there we go.
Hey. Oh.
Wait.
I
check the year.
Further.
Oh, it's a different year too. 1933. Oh no, 83. I don't think you can get coins before.
Hey, what did you say?
1983.
You're not going to believe this, and I'm not actually kidding.
Okay,
that says 1983. I can't believe. Focus.
Oh, it's a really old coin too, right?
Please focus. Yeah, look at it.
I need to find this coin again.
I'm not joking. Oh, it's focusing. That literally says, I'm not joking you, 1983. I'm not kidding. Is it focused?
Pound coin twins. Wait, yeah. No, I can't. Yeah, oh, it does. Yeah.
It's right at the top there.
We have the same coin, dude. If we hadn't both shown it, I guess there's no way to prove it otherwise, right?
Oh my god, I've taken my glasses off.
Oh.
It's okay, my eyes have adjusted.
There we go. Okay, so thank you everyone for watching and coming along. I hope that explained why there isn't hasn't been one for 6 months apparently, and why there might not be one for 6 months apparently.
Yeah.
But I want to believe there's going to be another one at some point in the
I
future.
enjoy them.
Just don't bug me about it, because that makes I have the worst psychology problem. When anyone tells me to do anything, I want to do the opposite.
Yeah.
Like, even when it's like really simple or like lame, like easy stuff, like, okay, sir, step through here now. What have I done? No.
Meanwhile, you are actually waiting in the doctor's surgery to be called. Toycat, please go through.
No. Even stuff like cooking instructions, like cook for 14 to 16 minutes. What if I do it for 18? Is it going to ruin the food? I do it for everything, and it makes my life so much worse. Just because I have such a, I guess, avoidance to authority. So
fortunately, you don't drive yet. It's like, stop sign. You can't tell me what to do.
You say yet, but I've done a whole video on like why I'm never gonna drive. Well, I'm gonna learn at some point, but I'm never gonna drive. I can get from my house to any centre of any major city in the UK in like 4 hours.
Can you?
Yeah, trains.
That's not too bad.
Whereas you in your car get jammed in traffic somewhere, you're gonna have to drive down terrible roads.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I'm sitting there, I'm making YouTube. Well, you can't make
buy
YouTube.
something, I can bring it home.
Up to a certain size, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's bigger than mine.
Number.
It's definitely bigger than what I can bring.
Like a couch, or the shopping for the
Is your car big enough for a couch?
Yeah, I can put the roof down.
Oh, nice.
I got, like infinite space height-wise.
Wait,
Well,
that's... I mean,
to about a bridge height, I
yeah, I was going to say, have you...
you know?
Isn't it funny how, like, every single time a bridge is hit by something, it's, like, hit by something repeatedly? I've noticed that in bridge trends. Like, there's, like, a whole website dedicated to, like, bridges that are always hit by cars. It's great fun. You should... Again, I was on the dark side...
That out of all... No, I often visit this website where bridges are hit by just other things and...
Okay, I was on the dark side of the internet. I did the same thing where I was there too long, and I ended up on... Because there's, like, a really cool stop sign that, like, appears out of water, and the genesis was this website. Anyway, thank you everyone for coming along, and we'll see you all in about... Let's say early 2017. Let's pencil it in.
Yep, penciled in. Early 2017 for the next
early 2017
Power Up podcast.
See you there, guys.
Bye.
Bye.